What's up, everybody? This is Jay, and this video is about Empire Season 6, Episode 6, Heart of Stone. Now, this is the final season of Empire. It's a lot going on, and I'm getting ready to break it down. If you enjoy my video recaps with a little bit of humor added, and you haven't already, please subscribe and bang that bell for notifications. I'm trying to get to 30k subs by the end of the year, and if you enjoy this video and recommend it, hit that like. Let's get into it. Now, this episode starts off 8 months from now, and we see Cookie, just like the last episode, getting into the Bentley, and she sees this letter and somehow it's got her really pissed. But next thing you know, it's blowing up and it's all over for her. Next thing you know, we see some type of nursing home in present day, and there's Lulu's mama, and she's sitting there pissed off, and next thing you know, she stabs the white lady's hand like a piece of pork, and she's pissed and upset, and so she just breaks out into some evil laugh after she got pissed to watching Cookie on TV. Now we see Cookie, and she's in some type of apartment, hotel or something, and the door rings, and next thing you know, it's Lucious, and she's pissed to see him, but she lets him in, and he says, "All right, now you win. Okay, you win. You gonna come back home or not? It's been 2 weeks, Cookie." And she say, "Oh, it's been 2 weeks, huh? Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I ain't going back home, okay? Just so you could just beat on me. You ain't forgive me. That's how it is." He said, "Look, you said some things. I said some things. That's what we do. But we bring it back together and forgive each other." Oh, is that how it is? Even though my 17 years and my measly $400,000 ain't mean nothing to you, huh? That's what you want? No, I'm not coming back, okay, Lucious? You done beat on me and did too much enough as it is, and I'm done. You win, okay, Lucious? You win, all right? I'm not going back no more. I'm moving on. He say, "You done spent enough money." She say, "Oh, that's No, I'm not going back, Lucious. You done finally did it. Yeah, you win. You win, okay? And I'm out of here. And you know what? You ain't gonna have me to beat on no more and pick on and run into the ground. I'm out of here. And you know what? I need to let them know, stop letting the riffraff on my floor, okay? Bye, Lucious. Deuces. And you can have some of that champagne if you want. I'm out of here." And he said, "You better bring yourself back here, man." Meanwhile, we see Becky, and she's sitting there talking with Tiana, and she's saying, "You know, you are getting banned all over, girl." And she said, "You know what? That's just haters. It's okay. And I'm still believing in pro-choice, pro-life." And she say, yeah, but just like R. Kelly didn't matter, and he thought it was just music, and he was messing with them girls." She say, "But that ain't the same." And she say, "Well, you need help." And then next thing you know, we see Giselle walk in. She say, "Well, help has arrived. I got this lady. She's Pastor Clark from a mega church, and she loves your work. And here, Tiana, we have a chance. She wants you to headline their show." And Tiana like, "Oh, okay, I've heard of that. That's pretty nice. It's just as big as Coachella, right?" She say, "Yes, it is. And their church, mega church, is full of millennials, and that is our demographic, and it'll be great." And Becky like, Giselle, what are we doing here?" And she said, well, we're going to have Tiana work with Pastor Rose, and we're going to make sure that everything, you know, jumps off and help her with her image, because there's still a lot of Tiana fans out there." She said, "Yeah, but all money ain't good money." Does she know that Tiana shakes her booty? And she like, "Look, we are familiar with Tiana, and we love her work, and more importantly, we love your stand on pro-life." And she's Becky pissed. And so she's saying, "Look, we would love to have you work with us, and we would love, I think this is just another opportunity for you to work and reinvigorate your image, and the Lord works in mysterious ways. Am I right?" And Tiana like, "Well, you know, I do like the church and things. It could be good for you." And Becky, I don't know. I don't never say never. And she said, "Well, you know what? Amen. I'm down. I want to see what's up." And Becky all shocked like somebody stole the last piece of chicken. She pissed. Meanwhile, we see on the other side of town in Empire that they having a listening party, but Treasure, she's a little salty. She like, "Well, you know, this isn't really what I wanted." And he said, "You got the best number #1 hit song going album right now. That's what anybody would want. And then we see Andre walk in with Orange Crush. And so she said, you know what? Treasure don't look happy. He said, well, that she ain't got her own sound. And so when he was about to talk to Lulu, he get a call. Let me take this call, man. And he answered. He said, she did what, man? Okay, that's your problem. I'll be there in an hour. So then later we see Cookie and she's going to the therapist and she say, look, girl, I done got rid of Lucious. I got rid of my 99 problems. I don't need to come here no more. I'm done. She say, oh, okay, well, who said you don't need therapy? Well, I never said I needed therapy. My job did. But anyway, I'm done. I done got rid of my problems. I told you the story. She said, well, you've been with him since you was young, moved out your father's house into his. I'm sure you have other issues. That's a nice comfy couch. Sit down. So she sat down and she say, so what does that say about me if I let him do that to me and I just keep allowing this type of behavior? What does that mean? And then she says, well, you was young when you left with your father to live with Lucious, and you feel that if you leave Lucious, it's like losing your father again. So Cookie say, so that mean I still need therapy? She say, well, I'm here for you. Meanwhile, we see Cookie come back to the apartment, and it's 2 cops waiting, and he say, Cookie Lyon, you're under arrest. What? What's the charge? What they here for, huh? What you arresting me for? They say, well, you've been a very bad girl. And she said, what? What you talking about, bad girl? What are you doing? And then next thing you know, they start taking off their shirts and it's stripper time. And so then her sisters come out with the music and they like, girl, we know you ain't with Lucious no more and it's time for you to work on you. Yeah, we gonna have some fun and we gonna go to trip to Miami. She like, hold it, girl. I don't want none of this. They like, girl, you better relax and have some fun. So they start dancing or whatever. Meanwhile, we see Lucious and he talking to Dr. Doolittle because there's little he could do for his mama. And so he says, so what's going on, man? I think my mother loves this place and she wants to stay here. And so he started writing a check. And the doctor say, if you want us to risk our lives and health, it's going to need to be a bigger check than that. He say, well, look, I believe that we could come to an agreement. And he started writing back in the checkbook. And next thing you know, Dr. Doolittle is happy right there. And so next thing you know, we see him go outside. And his mama's sitting on the park bench like she Forrest Gump. And so he comes and she got her little blowout all pushed back. And he's like, comes up to her and she says, Dwight? I mean, Lucious? Which one? You like Lucious, right? He says, so what is your plan? What is your game? I don't have any game. He say, why did you stab that lady? I just lose myself sometimes, son. That's all. Meanwhile, in Miami, we see Cookie and she's still just got there with her sisters, still freshly happy and stuff. And they talking about how they gonna have fun and shop till they drop. And so she like, yeah, I don't know, girl. I just, we'll see. It's just Lucious, he drive me crazy sometime and stuff. And they sipping on a little oil and they say, look, girl, we gonna celebrate. Don't you say that L word no more, okay? Whoever say the L word, they gonna get bopped upside the head like a old mama style. And they say, well, it ain't gonna be me. Meanwhile, we back at Lucious on the park bench with Mrs. Gump. And so he say, so what is your plan, huh? And she say, look, are you okay? You got that look in your eye, just like if a woman important to a man leaves. What happened? And he said, is that your plan? Huh? You want me to open up to you so you can stab me too? No, that's not it. I just lose myself sometimes, but I'm okay now. I'm here. He say, is that right? And she say, look, I'm sorry. All these times I wanted you to feel that you were the one that was bad and evil, but it was really me. And I was hoping that somehow you could see that it was me and not you. You were my mother. How could I not believe you? She said, well, I'm sorry. You took my words and you believed them. I didn't know you were so weak. You let my words become your reality. That's why you deserve everything that comes your way. You miserable, evil little person. That's what I think. And so he's like blown away. He grabs her hand and she's like a little worried for a second. He got a little tear up in his eye holding it back. He picks her up like he about to two-step with her, and instead he give her a hug. He say, "That's all right, mommy. I forgive you." And she got a little side eye thinking he gonna break her neck or something, but instead he just smiles and then walks off knowing that he gonna leave her there as long as he can. Meanwhile, back in Miami, we see Cookie, and she done went shopping, got a new outfit, and she talking, and her girls is like, "Girl, you looking good, Cookie." She's like, "I just don't know." And they like, "Look at this. You see this? Bing, bang, boom. Everything is just perfect, and you just need to leave that alone and forget about Lucious, okay? And I don't want to hear no more L word unless it's La Perla or Louis Vuitton or Louis." And she said, "Okay." Meanwhile, back at the mansion, the Lion's Den, Andre is sitting there in deep concentration listening to Treasure single, and then his girl come in and she like, "What are you doing? You've been listening to this for hours," and turns it off. And he's like, "I gotta fix this." She said, "Well, look, you know about music. You're really good. You can handle this. And if it needs to be fixed, you can fix it." "Yeah, but I don't want to make it look like I'm trying to go around Pop and disrespect him." She's like, "Look, it's not going to be that way. And I'm sure you'll figure it out. And besides, I love you. And I'm tired of hearing this, or we gonna have a problem. I'm not that big of a fan of Tiana." He said, "Well, that's not Tiana, that's Treasure." She said, "Well, that's the number one problem right there." So later on, we see at Bossy that Tiana is having a meeting with Lil Kim and friends from the church. And so Becky, she's on her third plate, and so she's feeling good. And they say, "Look, Tiana, I just can't hold it no more. I'm a big fan. I just love it. And you know what helps me when I'm feeling down?" And she say, "What, prayer?" She say, "No, just putting on your music back to back." And so she say, "Look, you teach me how to pop that thing?" She say, "Well, you know what, girl? I will, and don't worry about it. I appreciate it." And so then they say, "Well, let's get back to business." She say, "Yes, we have a few little things that we would like for you to check. Your wardrobe." And so Becky pulls out her book, which is a menu, and so she starts checking off stuff and hating. And Giselle pulls out her glasses so she can see, and she said, "So you want me to show less skin? Okay, I got it." And Becky over there laughing and hating on anything related to God or the church. She turned into big devil over there. And so meanwhile, she's saying, "Okay, so what else?" She's like, "Well, we went over some of your lyrics just to save you some time. You take a look." And so she's saying, "Then when we done, you show me how to pop that thing." And she whisper, "It's all in the back, girl." She like, "Ooh, okay. And they all laughing and stuff. And so meanwhile, Becky like, "You gonna twerk that thing for Jesus? Okay." And so meanwhile, they all trying to get along. And then we see back at Empire, Andre done called a meeting. And so everybody in the meeting, he say, "I called this emergency meeting just to let you all know that I'm gonna put a pause on Treasure's album. Treasure, this isn't the sound that you wanted." And she's all happy listening. He said, "And I want to make sure that the new Empire embraces its artists and their song and not dictate it to them." And so Lucious is pissed. He said, "All right, man, let everybody leave. I need to talk with my son alone, man to man." And so then they sitting there looking. He say, "What are you doing, Andre? You do not have the authority to make this type of decision without talking to me first, okay? Now, we put in a lot of work on this album for Treasure. Yeah, Pop, I understand, but this isn't the right sound for her. How do you know? Treasure don't know no sound if it did hit her in the ass." "Oh, okay, that's what it is. She gave you some ass, huh?" He said, "No, Pop, I'm not like you." He said, "Well, that is clear. I understand." He said, "Look, you are Lucious Lyon. Everybody understands that, Pop. I understand." He said, "Yeah, okay, but obviously you ain't understanding what needs to be." He said, "Pop, just trust me for once, please." "All right, I'll give you your chance." Meanwhile, we see at rehearsals, we see Pastor Rose and her girls come through and see Tiana, and so they all happy and excited. They like, Tiana, hey, it's happy to see you. We excited for your performance tomorrow. Tiana sitting there looking good, booty all tight from working out, and so they give her this little poster. They say, this is what we're going with, and it says Tiana, the redemption tour. And so she said, what am I trying to get redemption for? And they say, well, why just stop there with what you were saying? You could also go through everything, like having a baby out of wedlock, same-sex relationships. Yeah, I mean, you did take care of the bastard child of your ex. She's like, bastard? I love Bella as my own. They said, see what I mean? The goodness just keeps coming out of you, Tiana. You're doing great. She said, well, look, let's not just go so far just yet. Let's just take it small. And she said, Tiana, don't worry. You're inspiring a lot of women to do the right thing and redeem themselves. And so now she's sitting there thinking. Meanwhile, we see Treasure and Porsche and Andre all working on her new album, having a good time in the studio, trying to put together her album. Later, back at the Lion's Den, we see Lucious, and he's sitting there staring out the window, just daydreaming of all the traumatic events that he's been through. His mama tried to drown him in the bathtub, and, he was barely made it out alive. He remembers seeing his daddy get shot right before his eyes. He almost got another tear in his eye welling up, and then he remembers when he was trying to get on the helicopter with Cookie, he said, get to the chopper, man. No, I'm not going, okay? And then he remembers when they were arguing in the kitchen just a few days ago and how he laid it on real thick, letting her know that she wasn't nothing to the success of Empire, and that her money didn't mean nothing, and that was the last straw that pushed her away. And so he was thinking about how his mom said it ain't his fault that she didn't teach him how to love. He heard the doorbell ring, and next thing you know, it's Becky at the door, like she was Uber Eats or something. And so she's all humble, and she's like, can I talk to you? And so we see them talking. He done fixed her a little cup of oil. She downed it real fast like it was Mobile One or something. And so he like, okay, Becky, what's going on? She say, look, I appreciate everything, and it's not like I'm asking you to help me be the new Empire, but that's what I'm asking for you. He said, is that what you came for? You got some nerve. You steal Tiana from me, and then you want me to help you? She said, well, I mean, kinda. I was on fire when I was at Empire, and now I've lost that magic. He said, well, let me tell you something. Every CEO has made mistakes. It's just the thing that you have to embrace that dark side and that failure, and you have to go deep down in there and then bring it, because only from the bottom can you see the road to the top, and then you can do it. And she say, is that it? And they said, well, I was hoping for some genius. He say, well, you wasn't listening then, man. Meanwhile, we see back in Miami, Cookie getting turned up and turned into Thatcher, and so she's partying with her sisters looking like some old freaks or whatever. They all getting they drink on, and next thing you know, she's starting to feel a little loose in the goose, and then she sees to the side a little Latin lover over there, little Pablo, and so she give him a little wink or a little side shoulder at him, and so he come on over. He like, how you doing? I like to talking to you. How you ladies do? And she say, I'm fine. He say, well, let me take you to dance while they get you the drink. And so then next thing you know, they start dancing or whatever, having a good time doing the mambo. Now we see back at Bossy, Tiana says, hey, look, I want to get out of this, okay? These church ladies are going too far. And they said, no, Tiana, we need you to stay. They just booked you for a 40-city event. And it's like, I'm going to have to say a hard no. We really need this. And Becky said, yeah, you need to embrace that dark side, because only when you go dark can you come back to the light. And then Giselle like, yeah, we really need you to do this. She said, all right, I'm going to try. She said, yeah, just try. She said, but I can't do 40 events. She said, no, you don't have to. Just do this one and then 39 other, okay? Just one at a time, like how I eat pizza. One slice at a time, baby. You can do it. Meanwhile, we see Cookie and she just turned up all the way on the pole, dancing. Her sisters all over Pablo and the friends, and Cookie damn near got her titties hanging out. We see her other sister, Vivica, over there swirling around in the chair, her body and booty shaped like a juice box and shit. She's over here dancing, having a good time, drunk, wobbling. And Cookie say, "Did you put something in my drink?" And he said, "Yeah, we all did. That's what we did. You said you wanted to party. I put it in a little Molly. We all on it. Don't you like it? We're not the bad guy. We just want to have a fun. What's the problem?" She say, "Oh, you put the, we wanted to party, meaning dancing." Her sister titties all swollen. Vivica wild out. She like, "Okay, you lucky. I'ma dance with you, but don't try nothing else." And while she dances, she starts seeing visions of Lulu. Man, he's like, "Look here, I'm sorry. I want you to come back, man. I went too far." And she said, "No, Lucious. Every time I let my guard down, you just want to hurt me. No." And then she's back dancing. "Look here, man. I'm sorry. I could have Empire, but without you, it's nothing. No, Lucious. I am tired of you. You done went too far, and I'm just, ooh, you make me so mad." Next thing you know, she start haul off and punching him as if she was beating Lucius. Security come, her sisters get into a fight. There's a girl fight galore going on. Juice boxes in there banging. We see girls getting their hair pulled. Next thing you know, the bearded lady is in the club. I don't know where the hell they was at. And next thing you know, Cookie snap out of it and she done beat up Pablo. "Hey, what you doing? My nose. You busting my nose. Are you crazy?" Next thing you know, we see him in jail. And so they all looking like Orange is the New Black. Juice box booty talking about she need to go pee or she gonna call out Sharp, and her sisters is laughing or whatever. And so then Cookie like, "You know what? I was in jail. You know, I was in solitary a lot because I'm crazy, right? Anyway, it's just like I was in a time capsule. Meanwhile, she's still talking about she got to pee. She like, "I just can't believe it. That was the worst part. You don't know nothing." The bearded lady is in there with them watching and listening. And so they grab Juice Box Booty and tell her to come sit down because she over here talking too damn much about peeing. And so she said, "You know, it's like I did 17 years for Lucious, and now we all in here again because of Lucious." And so her sister smiling, she said, "Yeah, but we together." And you know what else? She said, "Yeah, we used to, what helped me get through it was when I would do our dance routines." And she said, "Yeah, remember we used to do it for Daddy, and then Grandma make us do it over again." She said, "Yeah, I remember I used to look good in my Versace," and they all, "Yeah, and we had on the nice outfits, and everybody wanted to see it, and we put the dance moves together." And so now they start dancing. Bearded lady is impressed, and she like, "Yeah." And so we had these little moves. I would make us rehearse, and we would do this, and they all reminiscing on the little moves and dancing. And she say, "You know what? Before you was Cookie and you was Laretha, I know Lucius your first love, but before that it was music, girl. And now that you done got rid of him, you go ahead and get in a relationship with music. Go ahead, put a ring on it, and you can make it yours now. You can, girl." And so they all smile and hugged up and reminiscing and happy. Meanwhile, we see back at the Empire, then we see Andre with Treasure, and he's saying here's Treasure's new album. And so they playing the music, and Treasure's there singing along right there in the boardroom. And so he's sitting there impressed, looking at Lucius, and he say, "All right, that's enough. Cut the music. Andre, your experiment was nice, but it's not gonna work. And we're gonna go with Treasure's original album. Okay? Everybody get back to work on the original plan." And Andre's pissed. Meanwhile, we see Tiana at her performance, and so she's sitting there and she's got on a little baptism robe, and she's singing in front of everybody. And then next thing you know, she rips it off and got on a little stripper outfit and booty shorts, and she's dancing, and Pastor Rose and company and Lil Kim jump up shocked. Tiana shaking her booty and everything, looking good. All the thoughts in the audience jump up to celebrate, and she's like singing a song, and Biggie and Smalls is like blown away, and she says, Becky, did you know she was gonna do this? She say, no, I'm just as shocked as you. And then they check Twitter. They like, yeah, but Twitter is embracing it. She's like denouncing the church. It looks like Tiana is back. Yay! Meanwhile, we see back at the Lion's Den, Andre is sitting there with his baby, and he's like, yes, I'm gonna always respect you. I'm gonna break the cycle of our lions, and we're gonna always get along, even if we disagree. I'll always appreciate and respect you. Meanwhile, it's a knock at the door. Lulu goes to answer, and little did he realize it would be Miss Badu. And so she's sitting there, India Ari Badu, and he said, hey, how you doing? Is that all you got for me? Hey. And next thing you know, she goes ahead and smacks him. And so he looking stupid, and she like, after what you did to me, you think that's all that you can do? And so he looking stupid after he done got smacked, and he's like standing there looking, and he ain't have nothing to say. And so that's how they ended the episode. Now it's time for some real talk. This is when I go in about what's going on with the movie and what I think. And what I think is they are trying to tie in how Lucious and Cookie are both killed, and it's not really making sense because they're trying to put all these different villains in there. Like, was it his mama? Was it Miss Badu? It's going to be interesting to see what happened. Maybe Andre with the car explosion part 2. I don't know. We'll see. Also, I want to thank everybody that support me at patreon.com/Jaymoorereviews. Remember, for just $1 a month, you get access to a lot of great content. I just recently met my goal of $100 a month. I couldn't have did it without all of my special, most important Patreon family members listed right here. Also, check out some of my stand-up comedy. I post new stand-up comedy every Wednesday. And last but not least,
why don't you
please
leave
a
comment,
hit
that
like
button,
and
subscribe,
and
I'll see you
and
the next video.